was ever an iconic theme from my childhood, it would have to be this. Welcome to my video of the Surselva line, a Swiss railway that's meter gauge, built by the Rhaetian Railway in about 1900. I have to say this is something a bit different for me. It's not very often that I venture into foreign routes or anything outside of the UK interest in terms of train sim content. But something struck me. I own two other routes that are Swiss, and I don't tend to play on much. One's the Arosa line and the one's the Albula line. And whilst the Arosa line I think is very different, it's only short and it runs through the town of Chur or Hua, depending on what language or dialect you wish to pronounce it in. And it adds a very different perspective. But what I remember the most are the Swiss railway journeys that were filmed in the late 90s and broadcast on the Travel Channel. Produced by a little known company called MITV, with that lovely intro music that we just heard. And I remember them appearing quite frequently, and my excitement at wanting to run downstairs and watch the Swiss rail journeys with my parents on cable TV in the UK, in the halcyon days before big names like NTL and Virgin even existed. This route is a bit different. It struck a chord. It struck a bit of nostalgia. It struck something that I've always loved, and that is the Swiss beauty of the Alps, their little quirky meter gauge railways, and just the fascination with wanting to explore a diverse landscape with such rich history and geographical differences to our homeland of good old Blighty. Switzerland, to me, is a bit like a dreamland. It's somewhere where there's a little bit of whimsical nature in it, something magical about the country, its culture, the history, and the fact you've got 3 or 4 even different dialects and languages within the whole country. A landlocked country with beautiful lakes, with beautiful mountains, with a lot of history, and that's fascinating. It's truly fascinating. It's something that I've always wanted to dream of going and visiting, because it just offers a lot more culturally than I'd say than Britain, and to me that's rather significant. One of my bucket list dreams is to go and visit Switzerland, and I will do it one day, so I can enjoy rail journeys like this, so I can explore the routes in person for its natural beauty as it stands. And that's why the Surselva line really hit me emotionally, and in a good way. I wouldn't say it was an overwhelming sense of sadness or depression that I've never been, but more the case of what I could go and explore, the excitement, the thrill, just the happiness that one can experience. And that's something that I wish to go and do, and I need to do it at some point in my life and sometime soon. You can't say any more than the fact that Switzerland is beautiful. It's hard to describe it in many words, in many different phrases, when it all leads back to the same point. Culturally rich, naturally beautiful, and extremely historic. All 3 things I value dearly. And I'm not saying that we don't have beautiful routes, or beautiful scenery, or lovely history in good old Blighty. But there's just something, like I said, it's magical with Switzerland. It is the land of yodeling, the land of Alphorn music. That's the difference. Different things. Things of beauty. The route is very nice. It's heavily detailed with beautiful landscapes. And whilst you can appreciate it from up front in the cab views, you also have to appreciate it from the line side, from the sweeping landscapes. Many of those shots have been included in this video for your viewing pleasure. The route came as a bundle. I bought this on a bit of a whim. I got it from the Just Trains website, and even though this product is freely available off Steam, of which I'll link to both vendors, the package on JT seemed very attractive. I think it's best part of around £30. But for that £30, what you get is this lovely route, and you also get a Swiss enhancement pack, which includes this beautiful GE 442 locomotive. An iconic locomotive that featured heavily in the 1990s programmes done by MITV. And if you're thinking of buying this route, I suggest you do buy it with the RHB02 enhancement pack. Because if you go with that, you get more rolling stock, you get the variety. But on top of that, you get more engaging scenarios. And also, the fact that you can get Just Trains reward points. Swiss DLC can be quite expensive. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if that is just because it's a more niche market. I don't know if that's because it's a very specific interest or there's less developers who develop this sort of stuff. But alas, it's worth the money. When you play these routes, it's like it is taking you away on holiday. It's like your mind is drifting off to a place of beauty, somewhere that you've always wanted to go to, and you can enjoy the sights all from your living room. And that's something that's quite special. The amount of detail that's gone into the route makes it worthwhile buying in its own right. The fact you have plant pots and intricate station buildings, all custom assets, all done to the proper Swiss aesthetic, Swiss design, and you can't go wrong with that. There's plenty of trees and the trees look wonderful. Some lovely evergreens are included with this route. Something that makes Switzerland what it is. Not just ordinary trees, but all the alpine trees, all the evergreens, the trees that stay green all year round. And Swiss rolling stock, despite being meter gauge, is incredibly fun. I'm not normally one for what I consider as narrow gauge stuff. I never really have been. But Swiss stuff makes an exception. The performance of these locos in real life is good. And the rolling stock is nice, airy, comfortable, despite running on a meter gauge track. There's not many down points that I can actually make about this route. And I wouldn't want to anyway. Call me biased. But when you have such a special connection with something in your mind, you don't really want to slate it. Some of these stations are beautiful, and I wish I did write down all these place names so I actually remembered what they were. And I apologise for any names that I mispronounce in this video. But as you can probably understand, as a typical Brit, when you're looking at names in a country where there's 4 different spoken languages and various regional dialects, even the Swiss get it wrong. If they get it wrong, what chance have I got? If there was only one thing that I would criticise very slightly, it's possibly the engine sounds. There is a whistle that I have featured in this video, I'm pretty sure I did, from the locomotive itself. Unfortunately it's not looped, it's just one sound clip. You can't blow the air whistle like you can on steam locos on our UK content. I think for now I might be quiet and just let you guys absorb the scenery as it comes to you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the scenery on this journey from Reichenau Tamins to Decentis Muster.